Hey there, brilliant people. So today I'm going to answer a question that I've been getting a lot lately, which is, what does intuition feel like? Now, first of all, intuitive feeling is actually just one of the ways that intuition can talk to you. There's actually 10 different intuitive languages. So I'll put the link to that down below because I made a video on the 10 different intuitive languages. But today I want to talk a little bit more about, what does intuition feel like? So there's an old saying about genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, which is talking about the fact that, well, intuition is brilliant, but we still then need to apply it in the world. We need to go and do something with that intuition. But that means that when we're talking about what does intuition feel like, we're talking about that 1%. We're talking about that 1% of inspiration. What does that feel like? Well, so for me, intuition, it feels like a state of complete knowing and certainty. It's like when I just know. It's the same thing as if I was to tell you that the sky is blue. You would go, well, yeah. And the interesting thing is, that would be your reaction even if you hadn't been outside for a while. It would be your reaction even if it was nighttime. It would be your reaction even if there was a big storm, or if there were fires around, like unfortunately there have been a lot lately, and the skies are this sort of mad red colour. Because you know that all of those are just, they're because of different things. They're because it's, it's night, or it's, there's things going on in the atmosphere. You know that the sky itself, its kind of true state, is blue. You don't have to think about it, you just know that. So for me, that's what intuition feels like. It's just this calm, centered, certain state. And for me, if I'm not feeling that calm and centered about it, if there's a part of me that's still got questions, or is still, doubting it, or sort of wrestling with it a little bit, it means that I'm not completely clear on it. So my intuition hasn't completely locked in on what it is that it's trying to tell me, or, I'm not quite understanding what my intuition is telling me just yet. So then I just sit with it until I do get to that calm, clear, certain state. So that's how it feels for me. Doesn't mean that's how it feels for lots of people. There's a chap called George Soros. He's a currency trader and a hedge fund guy, but he's quite famous for the fact that he's made some sometimes quite huge trades, like billions of dollars kind of trades, because he has this big hedge fund. And sometimes he's making those trades purely on his intuition, in the sense that he will get this intense back pain, is how he generally describes it. And when he gets his back pain, he knows that he needs to go and put on the trade, or take off the trade, or do whatever it is that he's focused on at the time. So for him, his intuition literally feels like a pain in the back. So for some people though, their intuition feels more like a dream. So it's almost like this sort of dream state, and that it can almost be a waking dream. Sometimes people describe it like that. Sometimes it can be a literal dream. There's a guy called Michael Barnes. Now, if you don't know who he is, you probably don't realize just how much, the fact that you're even watching this video on whatever device you're watching it on, you don't realize how much that the ability to do that, it was relied on Michael Barnes's intuition, because he was given this job of figuring out, how do you send data up to a satellite and down again so that it can happen fast enough that you can watch videos and these other things that have an enormous amount of data on it. Well, he figured out how to use fractals and something called fractal compression, and yeah, you can look that up on YouTube and stuff if you want. I can put a link down below to some more information on that if you're interested. But the point is, it was a big problem because nobody had really figured out how to do this until Michael Barnes did. And Michael Barnes figured out this once he actually had a dream. He'd been working on it, and he literally had a dream. Like he had this dream at night where stuff was going on in the dream, and he woke up in the morning and he knew the answer. So that was, he just entered, through his dreams, he entered this different state in which he could get the feel and the reality of what it was that his intuition was talking to him about. Of course, some people like Albert Einstein, famously, he would use all of these, he would call them thought experiments, but really it was just daydreaming, which is a way of kind of consciously invoking that dream state. So for other people, that 1% of inspiration, it feels just like how you would imagine inspiration to feel. It feels expansive, it feels ecstatic, it feels inspiring. So that can also be what intuition feels like. Because now, if you were looking for one answer as to what intuition feels like, well, sorry. The truth is, we're all different. And although we all have intuition, we all actually tap into our intuition. We get to feel our intuition in very different ways depending on our system. So I hope that helps in some ways for you to be able to recognize your intuition when it is talking to you, and to know what your intuition will feel like. As I said, I'll put those links down below if you're after some more information. And so keep following your feelings, keep following your intuition, and until next time, remember that you're brilliant.